I apologize for the computer glitch. I had a computer glitch, and alas, it has forced me to be a little bit behind. Let me just make sure this is going. Okay, good. Yeah, that's fine. And let me make sure this is, yeah. Okay. Hello, Joel. How are you? I had two hot topics things open. Yes, everything is fine. Let me go ahead. I apologize. I was having a bit of a crazy time. I went like this and pulled the computer at the time I was supposed to go live, and I unplugged the computer. And then I had to plug it back in, and it wouldn't go back in, and da 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 da, yada yada yada. And then it decided to upload some stuff, so we're starting 8 minutes late. But I know that just makes you shiver with anticipation. I don't want to make the mistake of doing that again, so I'm going to come a little closer. So, how are all of you? Ooh, I smell some bread baking. How is it coming along? I got some bread in the oven. Does it look like it needs more time? I don't know if she knows what she's doing. I have a friend here helping me with my bread, which is in the oven. Oh, thank you, Joel. Off he goes, off to a prior engagement, wishing me a happy time. Yes, yes, I shall. Hello, Julie Dow. Great to see you. Teresa, hello. Lisa, hello. Spirit Beyond the Stars, hello. Chris Crowdis. Thank you, everyone who has taken the time to like, share, subscribe, and to give me business as a reader, which, gosh darn it, I do appreciate. Well, why don't we go ahead? We'll do the empath's prayer, and then after that, we can talk. We can blitz, blitz, blitz away. It looks like Jack Smith has asked for them to throw Mr. Trump in jail or whatever. I'm just going to check my bread. My bread is cooking. It smells very good, but I don't trust certain. Hold on. How are things going on over here? Are you sure that doesn't need to be cooked a little longer? Yeah, I said don't trust me. You gotta look at it. Look, yeah, like these need a good another 5 minutes at least. Okay. Yeah, dark brown. You want it to be darker. Hold on. 'Tis the season, as they say. Yes, so we're cooking. I have a friend over, and you know how it is. I did one large loaf of bread. We did cinnamon rolls. We did a small little batch of cinnamon rolls, and then we did individual rolls. So yeah. Okay, let's do the empath's prayer, and then we can blitz, blitz, blitz away. Yeah, it smells very good. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. All right, without further ado, whenever people like, we will blitz, blitz, blitz away. Happy solstice to you all. Looks like we don't have a floor director today, but that's okay. Wow, that's a really interesting question. People, have you guys heard about this? That there are some missing papers about Russia, and nobody really knows. It's a dossier or something that's gone missing. Does anybody know about this, or did Trump destroy it? The original is gone. Oh, thank you, Copper Room, for the blitz, blitz, blitz away. And thank you, everyone who is a member. I appreciate your supporting the channel. Um, Somebody stole it. It was given to somebody. It might have been given it might have been given to a liaison for Russia, to be honest with you, because you've got this Six of Cups, which is to give a gift. You've got this, which is like an ambassador's card. You know, when you get the Knight of Cups, that can sometimes be somebody who's coming in to try and communicate hopes and fears. Seven of Swords, that it's been stolen. Final outcome, an investigation with a high priestess moving in, looking for that which is hidden. So basically, what they're saying is that the dossier was stolen and given potentially to somebody who acted as a liaison for somebody else. I mean, it's just sheer insanity. I mean, you look now at what's going on with Rudy Giuliani. You guys know about that, right? Where he's in this situation where he owes what, $500 million? He just went bankrupt. He's bankrupted, but he's, what did they say, 500 million in debt? How is that? How can he? No, that can't be right. Is that right? How can a person be $500 million in debt? But yeah, there's something here. This is what I mean. Giving it to somebody in poverty, which is what the whole suspicion was, that people in New York, people who were in positions of power, were loaned money by AEB Bank and Deutsche Bank, and that they were compromised. The other again, who gives the gift, Ace of Cups, is like a liaison. What's also interesting is the thief gets caught. There's this interesting card, the ethos or the Hierophant over them. But what's interesting is the investigation yields results with a Nine of Cups, which would indicate that the wish has been granted. So I would say that the investigation is ongoing, and that it seems to be suggesting, based on these cards, that he was in debt. Five of Pentacles would indicate poverty, and that Six of Cups, he gave a gift. It was an issue of theft, and that there's an ongoing investigation that will probably result in Trump being convicted. This is why I say what people say versus what's really going on, which is that people are wanting you to watch TV and get freaked out about Trump running for president. But when you go into just the energy of the remote, it doesn't look like that at all. It looks like the guy is going to prison, and he will have no money left at all. That's what it looks like. Good question, Chris. Thank you for that. Yeah, so Jack's, I think Jack wants the guy arrested, basically. It never looks good for Trump. It never looks, let's take a look. I think that Jack Smith feels that it almost feels like this investigation is over. It's ready for charges. He attempts to flee prosecution, ready to hang up. Look, coming to the end. They're ready to go to it's ready to proceed now to charge additional charges. Thief attempts to flee. He got caught. They built I don't know why it took so long. I mean, the only thing I can figure out when I go into it as a remote viewer and try to read it is that they were tracking people for a very, very long time, and that was why it took so long. He's got grief over him. His time is running out. You can see Hanged Man. Um, I think he's going to have to make a deal. There's nothing left. I mean, uh, they keep moving the needle, right? They keep moving the needle on Trump supporters. Uh, they kept saying he didn't do this, he didn't do that, but then he keeps getting convicted, whether it's the civil suit for sexual assault or what happened with the Trump org, or the fact that when we go into the remote, he personally, on his own personal taxes, they've got him. That's what they're saying. So there's nothing left. If this guy makes a deal with the feds now, he might be able to avoid something more serious down the road, because that's why I'm saying it's hard for me to believe, given his cards, that he has any future at all. I mean, I'm sorry to say. Copper Broom, this is the whole issue of Mark Meadows. Boy, he's somebody who I always think is an example of how cowardly bullies are, right? A bully will start off being really cocky, but when they're caught, like Mark Meadows, they turn out to be complete cowards. Now he's trying to get out of this. He's trying to make a deal with the feds. He's trying not to be charged for what's going on in Georgia. It's Two of Swords. I mean, this guy, I don't think that he can imagine himself in prison. The news is not good for Mark Meadows. I mean, also Three of Swords in his opposition. This guy, he's good. There's no reason for him there's no upside to him protecting Trump, right? There's no upside to Mark Meadows protecting Trump. And so he doesn't. Two of Swords also tells me that this guy's very rigid. He simply cannot accept the fact that he's going to prison, stab Trump in the back. I question the mental health. Look, you have to question the mental health of anybody that would be a sycophant to Donald Trump. That in and of itself should make you question this person's mental health. Or how badly do you want to be next to power? For Donald Trump, he has no power now, so the sycophants are gone, right? Which is a very strange place for him to be in. The moon is in the hopes and fears. A lot of these people, I question their mental health. Evidence against him, Three of Pentacles, the blueprint card. Let's clarify. Yeah, he's going to court. No, he himself is being charged. He probably thought that if he cooperated and gave evidence against, it doesn't matter. What he did was so terrible that even though he gave evidence against Donald Trump, it's not going to keep him out of jail. I mean, look, the court is right on top of him. Trump is also, going nowhere, Knight of Pentacles. The hopes and fears of Mark Meadows is that they will begin going into his finances. I mean, these people are left impoverished by the end of it. Look, the sword of truth and justice over the evidence. I hope Mark Meadows has a good lawyer, because look, you cannot use the excuse. Mark Meadows has to that I was just following orders. It's not going to work. Yeah. So a large folder has gone missing. It was 400 pages. As Torkai 47 points out, it's 10-inch thick binder. So that means that Mark Meadows was the liaison, right? Because there was a Knight of Cups involved, which means that it's typical of what Trump would do, right? He would get somebody else to sign the documents, like pitting the children against one another, right? Making Ivanka feel that she's my favorite. And so because she's my favorite, she's going, as a way of feeling more important than the boys, she's going to put her signature on certain things. And so it feeds her ego. So what happens in the end? These types of folks know how to manipulate people who for whatever reason, they want the approval of the sociopath or the narcissist. But in the end, it's really only about them. And that seems to be what he's done to Mark Meadows. So that's kind of interesting. Wonder how my bread is doing. I'm going to go. How's the bread? I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, so Jared and Ivanka are in Israel. They're visiting the October 7th locations where the massacres took place. Yeah, I'd put it in for another 5-10 minutes with the butter top now, and then that'll darken it. Yeah. It's so good. Homemade bread. Such good stuff. All right. So I think we know what Jared did, right? As soon as he thought something illegal was going on, he got his attorney, Abby Lowe, to find attorneys for his wife. And so as they think that they're scot-free, right? We saw that puppy coming, right? Remember that? Oh, my goodness. Oh, the last person who had it was Mark Meadows? Well, that was pretty much what they said, was that Mark Meadows was following orders and that it was stolen and that there was a liaison. So he's going to have to, there it is again, theft, attempts at theft. Jared, successful in his career. His opposition closed, hear no evil, see no evil. He's looking like he's pretty good. Hopes and fears that his karma will come back on him, attempts to flee like a thief. He's attempting to put the Trump White House behind him. That's what he's saying. You know, he has a future in the Abraham Accords, right? He has business dealings with this new phenomenon of the Abraham Accords and building, you know, this is education and success over his new endeavors. His opposition is a 2 of swords with a 6 of wands. That's interesting. It means best not to cooperate or not to speak. It's probably Trump. Hopes and fears being controlled or contained. This can be tax issues too, because I often will read the 8 of Swords as being wrapped in tape. So it could be that Jared is looking at potentially his own tax problems down the road. Yeah. And then hopes and fears, flees like a thief, and then the Lover's card, which to me is further proof that Jared has been cooperating with the feds. Yeah. 100%, darling. No question about it. What about 187 means it's going to be connected? I'm not sure about the question. I do know that a lot of names. Oh, was Mark Meadows burning papers? Oh my God. Can you believe that these folks did this? I mean, you know, it's better for us to just get on with our lives, live frugally, be decent people, be aware of the politics and vote, you know, your conscience. But other than that, I don't think we should stress too much, you know, because it's like they want us to be freaked out. We didn't used to watch. There used to not be cable TV. It was 6 p.m. with Walter Cronkite. And that's the way it was, right? And, you know, that, but now it's this, it's not good for our mental health to be like looking for every horrible, I mean, there's how many billions, 8 point something billion people. Somebody's bound to be unhappy somewhere if you go looking for it. But I just don't think it's good for our mental health to be this keyed on to it all the time. And there's a lot of good stuff going on too in the world. What was Mark Meadows burning? Let's see if we can find out. You're right, Laura. It is bad for your mental health. Mark Meadows. Well, he's in legal trouble for what he did, and it was evidence. And he I believe he was following Trump's orders in destroying the documents. You have the evidence here, right? The blueprint. Fear of poverty. So his opposition had fear of poverty, which is interesting. It has something to do with Trump's finances. So it could have been, he was paying back people. Hopes and fears, conviction, right? Because you have this. Yeah, Mark Meadows is going to be charged and convicted. Yeah, you can see here the evidence, the blueprint. He destroyed evidence of financial transactions or something that had to do with finances between the financial interest of Trump and certain persons. That appears to be what it was. It was it was some type of evidence of partnership or financial benefit. You can see here the job. International. Does anybody know what this dossier was? I mean, that just, gosh. Eileen Cannon, the thing with Eileen Cannon is I think that she's been reported by other people in the courts because of a feeling that she's just incompetent, right? So a lot of people feel like her behavior has been so poor that she doesn't deserve to be on the bench. Well, she probably has political partnerships because Two of Wands is a partnership card. And so Cannon definitely appears to be in partnership with someone. Her partnership helping Trump with a poverty issue is always coming up with his money. Hopes and fears that she's legally bound. Final outcome is the Queen of Swords. That would indicate that she's going to be able to, in the end, the right thing will happen because the Queen of Swords is just, you have heartbreak over her. So Judge Cannon will not be able to stop Trump from facing the music based on those cards, Oh, it was the investigation into Russian interference? The dossier was, so the original is gone? Oh, well, that would make sense that Mark Meadows took it and was supposed to give it to somebody else. That's hysterical. Hi, Annie. Good to see you here. Well, I mean, it's interesting that you mentioned the Heritage Foundation because when we did remote views, the Heritage Foundation was taking money from churches. And so one of the things we learned from the Heritage Foundation, because they had hidden donors, is we found out that there was a very thin line between politics and churches, and that they were siphoning money off of people who donate to the churches and pouring it into organizations like Heritage, which went against the LGBTQ community, was part of the Tea Party, etc. All right, folks, I think I'm going to call it an end of an evening. It's been about a half hour. I still haven't started packing. I have to figure out what I'm doing. Thank God I got my passport. I was a little nervous, but I do have my new passport. So I guess I'm gonna go take the bread out of the oven, and I guess that'll be it. Did you guys have fun hanging with me? It'll be fun. I guess. Oh, you guys will see me on. If you're members, you'll see me on Saturday, and I'll probably be here for Sunday. All right. Thank you, everybody. Be kind to all so that all can be kind to you too. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone. Thank you.